So who are you and what is that you do?
Okay, so I am Erin Livingston, and I'm an occupational therapist over at Cincinnati Children's at the Liberty campus.
Beautiful. And how did you hear about the Gift event?
So initially through social media, it was kind of a joined event. So it was like through social media, you kept popping up. And then also through some of my patients, they said, oh, I get my hair cut at Vernon Jackson. And I was like, who's Vernon Jackson? And then of course, when your phone hears you, social media pops up.
Right.
And then the two got married. So then I started looking into it and I was like, okay, he's onto something. He's doing something great. I see a lot of great success and I need to connect with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's dope. Okay, so what is it from your perspective? What is it about haircut? How would you describe the haircut process and experience for the families?
So a lot of times when we get patients that come in, whether they have all abilities of disabilities or sensory processing or autism, always I hear haircuts are a huge issue. Whether they don't like the buzzing sound, they don't like the hair falling on them, going to a place has been a bad experience, they've been kicked out of other places, it's just not good. They try it at home, still bad system. They feel, confused and not sure where to go, and they get really upset about it. So then they often come to us for a lot of variety of reasons, but a lot of times it comes down to sensory and behavioral needs.
Yeah.
So then trying to figure out, okay, what can we do to help support this family have a better experience with what we call an activity of daily living, trying to continue part of that grooming skill that we all have to do. It's a necessity of life.
Yeah.
So we can't just forget about it. We can't just let their hair grow. We got to figure out what we're going to do to help them.
Yeah.
So we figure out, okay, what can we start with? Can we start with some buzzing? Can we start with bringing in the clippers? Can we touch the clippers? Can we turn the clippers on and on? So then we start working on exposure, sensory strategies, getting the kid calm and regulated and organized so that they can approach things in a very well-mannered way versus just attacking them with clippers, and we know how that's gonna go. It doesn't go well.
Yeah.
So then what can we do to make positive experiences? Can we make connections with them that's gonna provide building skills, setting a foundation to then grow from there? And then only my haircutting skills can go so far.
Right.
And then we kind of reach out and say, okay, I think we can try these at a salon or a barber shop. Let's try it.
Right.
Sometimes we try it in the clinic, but you are much more skilled than we are.
Well, thank you. But it takes a team.
Sure, absolutely, I agree with that.
So how long does it typically take for you all to transition a child from the initial experience and how their meltdowns about the haircuts to actually being comfortable?
It's a really good question because I think it depends on the kid.
Yep.
It depends on the resources that they are using and trying at home. Because 1 hour a week with me isn't going to do the work. It's the work that we can try to educate to the families to practice at home.
Yeah.
That's the biggest step that we try to address in therapy. 1 hour a week isn't going to do much. It's the work you put in at home.
Yeah.
So we can give you the tools to do it. So it really depends on that.
For sure.
But I've seen some great success. I've had some kids that have come to you and have had wonderful outcomes. I've also had some kids that have done really great home haircuts because of the program that we set up with them.
Yeah.
So it really depends, but we also hope for, we don't want this to be a 2-year program. We don't want this to be a forever thing.
For sure.
So hopefully we can find the supports they need to get the haircut done quickly.
Nah, I get that. That's where why I enjoy work that I do so much. What also rewards my patience and my heart is the fact that I've been able to get some phenomenal results in the first visit, and within 2 visits, and 3 visits, and which is why I started recording the videos, because I have so many families telling me like, yo, I don't know what it's about you, but they never sat this still for this long, or they
love that answer?
Right? Like
yes.
They walk into a barbershop, they're typically terrified of running the other direction, but they're staying in within 30 minutes. They don't even want to leave anymore, right? Yeah. And so that is something that that I forever will, just champion and be present in. Is that gift resides in me to be able to create this space for kids. And
absolutely.
I don't always get the opportunity to have more in-depth conversations with professionals in your position to see like, okay, what's happening on your side and what's happening here, and which leads to my last question, where what, when you first started seeing the work that I do, what was it that really stuck out to you and why?
Your personality.
Mhm.
Because one thing you talked about before was like, the kids have never sat like this long before. What is it about you? It's your therapeutic use of self, which is a term that we use as therapists, is that we are a tool,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes even just the connection to a human being who is calm, engaging, present, connects with them on their level without trying to force or demand or expect anything. Sometimes we are the greatest tool that we can provide.
Yes.
And I saw that immediately in you.
Oh.
And it's just so wonderful to see that in other people who aren't therapists too, because it's not a natural thing.
Yeah.
And so when I see a natural person, when I see something so natural in someone else, like, he's got it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I saw. And that was the one thing I was like, what's he doing that's working?
Yeah.
Bubbles aside, toys aside,
Yeah.
lollipops or stickers aside, something about you that you have that really is able to connect with people through social media, through anything. It just is very present.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's very present with your patient or your clients. I call them patients, your clients. All those lovely beings that we see.
Oh man! Wow.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I really do.
Appreciate you.
Because I've been very, a large portion of my life, I've been very intentional, becoming, not just being a human being, but constantly human becoming, and being present with that. And it's hard. What they're trying to translate through the videos, that it's hard being human, and when you discover your own voice, when you discover your own story, when you're discovering who you are. And then when you discover that, do you allow yourself to be that person? And to know that if you're not being accepted in certain groups and certain spaces, it's not because it's you. You're in the wrong place. Yeah. And so to really allow yourself the opportunity to be discovered and to be in the places with the people who see you. And with the Get the Event, I found my place. I found my space.
It's very true. Absolutely. People who come in to see you, they love you. And social media loves you. And we love you. And I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Let's go.
Yeah.
High five.